Good day, Reed here. Thanks for joining me at Orchestra Farm. I'm on a walkabout. Lovely birds passing overhead. Spring is just around the corner, and let's see, it's like 8:45 in the morning, and doesn't appear to be any frost down here today. That's nice. But what am I thinking about today? I'm thinking about world building and saying from Buckminster Fuller around this notion that rather than trying to change the world that is, or society, to simply create another one. Put your energy into a different thing rather than trying to change or take down the one that's currently happening. And thinking about this interrelated with an event that's getting some momentum behind it. It's a weekend-long event, and it's kind of in this nature of like, let's create a world, a village. You know, I like the Geoff Lawton statement of all the world's problems can be solved in a garden. And I kind of think of a village as a garden. And this notion of temporary autonomous zones, or TAZ. And if you've never heard that before, well, they're intriguing things, and rainbow gatherings seem to function like that, and Burning Man seems to function like that to varying degrees, at least it originally did. And any number of other events wherein, you know, you basically bring everything that you need with you and you coexist with the other people who choose to be there, and mostly things get along pretty well. And you know, it's a lot easier to do that for, like, let's say a weekend or a week than it is to do that kind of en masse and total. Yet when I think of different homesteading type places or intentional communities, you know, these are longer variants of that same basic concept. Like, what's the life that you want to live? And how do you go about doing that? I mean that in a very broad sense of you. Because I think that a lot of people who get into homesteading or intentional communities are playing that game of, I want to live my life my way. And there's a term, which is lifesteading, that I actually really like, because it really opens the concept of homesteading to that notion of, like, you know, homesteading can be kind of pigeonholed in terms of, like, you got different animals around and your gardens and you're preserving your foods and things. And frequently it seems like that's where that ends. Whereas with the notion of lifesteading, it's that notion of yeah, your life may well include all those pieces, but maybe you're also an author or a filmmaker, or, you know, the list really just goes on. Maybe like pottery, whatever the things are. Oh, there should be a pawpaw tree around here somewhere. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at, which is this tangle of raspberries. How exciting. All of that. Oh, it's right under me. Here, let's look at this. I'm kind of this little guy here. This is the pawpaw, and it's still doing pretty okay, although it's clobbered. I think I might dig it out and plant it somewhere else. Whereas this guy, this is the hickory. It's a pretty slow growing tree, and yeah, it's about at my belly button, so that's exciting. But this notion that each of these different cases is world building, and like, who do you want to be, and what's inspiring to you to become. Like, I don't think any of us are done growing unless you choose to, and obviously growth takes different forms at different stages of life. So, you know, maybe you're not like a child growing horizontally anymore, but there's so much to learn out there that personally I don't think I'll ever finish. And so this question of world building and lifestyle design all come into play of what's the world that we want to live in. Now, one of the things I tend to do is to not watch the news. And that's partially because I'm not that interested in the world I perceive them building. And you might say, well, Reed, you live in the greater world of everybody else. True. And there's not much influence or control I have over it. Unless the case I consider this video that I'm making and the notion that people who are watching it are actually going to change their lives from concepts that I bring forward in it. And if that does happen, whoa, I'm super thrilled. What? To which, if you want to help change my life with this video, it would be great for you to subscribe to this channel, comment on the video, to like and or share it. There's the farm. I didn't show you, but I actually spread some more black plastic in the greenhouse down the way that's getting built. And so, you know, we do have the intriguing thing being that whenever a person takes the time and energy to define their world, their life, to go in the directions that matter to them, to explore new potentials and really live into that, that is inspiring to other people. I know I have been inspired by a whole bunch of different people out there, continue to be, and I continue to try and move my life in many of those directions, which I'm excited to share with you here. To which I want to let you know that I finally got my ability to go live from my studio at home, and my aim is for Monday and Wednesday mornings starting this past week to share that creation process with you. And I'm still dialing it in to improve some of the sound quality, but pretty happy that it's up and running at this point. So if you're interested in that, please tune in then or check it out after the fact. And I want to say, what kind of world are you creating? What kind of life are you creating? What are your interests? Do you have any new interests that are showing up? And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope that y'all have too much fun.